WF Media, thank you so much for sending me through these questions. I haven't read them yet because I wanted to answer them like el natural. I'm gonna read out the question and then I'm gonna answer it, and I hope that's okay. So, first question is, during your world tour, besides the venues you performed at, what things stood out for you in each country? For example, things you ate, seen or tried. So, last year I lived in England for 8 months, and that was kind of like just touring and writing, and then I did 2 shows in Dublin. I opened for Codaline, and I also did U Bloom Festival. And then I came home for like a week, and then I went to South Korea, and then I went to New York, and then this year I've been to Kansas, Austin and Canada. So 2 in America and Canada for the first time, which I just got home from. So I guess I'll answer them like what my favourite things were. In England, I guess the reason why I went there was for the music scene, like it was amazing. And everyone's so nice. And in Dublin, my favourite thing was I went to like this pub, and it was my 21st birthday. I had the show on my 21st birthday, and I went to this pub, and there was like this traditional Irish band, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like they were legit on their like fiddles and stuff, so that was really cool. In South Korea, food in general is just amazing, but I'm obsessed with like Asian food, so that was amazing. And in America, I guess Austin at South by was kind of like the most unique place I've probably been to in terms of like festival vibe, because it's just huge. Like it's the biggest conference in the world, and I guess just like even seeing that was kind of amazing. So they're probably my favorite things. Question 2, besides iced coffee, what are you addicted to the most? I don't know how you knew I was addicted to iced coffee, but well played, sir. I've probably tweeted about it before. I'm addicted to iced coffee, and conveniently probably tea, which doesn't really make me seem like the healthiest person. I am quite healthy, I swear. But yeah, I have a lot of tea. I don't have iced coffee like every day or anything, but like if I have an iced, like if I'm feeling really bad, iced coffee or like iced coffee frappe is kind of like my guilt food. Like I love it so much. Yeah, I love it. And I love tea, which is conveniently in this cup. Question 3. Some people would ask, what's the secret to your success? Almost 50,000 followers on Twitter, winning competitions are all quite impressive achievements. I've got a long way to go obviously, but I wouldn't really say there was a secret. Like I'm very, very lucky with my manager and with like having a really supportive family. And the thing is that with everything I've been doing, it's all because I've worked really hard. Like I've worked really hard. I've always gone like, I'm always someone it's got something like they're working towards. I can't kind of just be happy doing things. Like I don't know, like when I was younger I was a swimmer and that was what I was doing, and I was always training and whatever, and then as soon as I stopped swimming I started music, and then I went to university and I was 100% at university. And I think when I do something it's like 100%. And I also work a few other jobs to kind of fund what I'm doing within the music stuff. So I'd say my secret is just absolutely loving it and wanting it so bad. And if you learn and you try and kind of really just mold everything around you to kind of help you get there, you're lucky enough to have an amazing manager like I do, then I guess yeah, you just keep going. And the thing is for me is that there's not like an end goal. It's like I just love everything that's happening all the time. Like I'm so happy writing songs and so happy performing, and it's like all of that kind of is as satisfying to me as anything else. So I think, yeah, you've kind of just got to be happy with every part of your journey through life or through music. So question 4. Do you still cry? Do you still cry when writing songs? If you do, please tell us why. Yeah, I still cry. I cry sometimes, like it depends on what I'm writing about, I guess. Like I'm not gonna like, I was so happy the other day I met this boy, and then I cry. It's very much in the context of what the song is about. But yeah, I cry. I cry every day. And I think that's part of being like an artist. Like I know that might sound like a massive downer, but it's not. Like I really don't mind, because like I just cry. Like I have a lot of emotions. I have a lot of feelings, and I think that's why I'm able to kind of like express them through music and through art. I have like a scale. It's like I'm either really, really sad or really, really, really happy. Like there's no kind of in between time. So yeah, I still cry. It's just like when you're writing, it's like you're in that moment, and it's like you're getting it out, and like you're creating something out of this feeling, and the things are obviously sad and upsetting you, so why not cry? You often talk about the weather, mostly the sun. What does it do for you, and how do you deal with the rain? Do you deal with it? Yeah, I love sun. I just love, this might sound really hippie-ish, but I kind of like just love the world. Like I love different days, what they bring in different ways. Like at the moment, you probably can't tell, but it is like dreary and grey and crappy in Melbourne, and it's giving me the opportunity to spend some time doing this. So it's like, yeah, I would definitely say that I'm like a sun person, but I'm not like a hot person. Like I don't sunbake or anything like that because I hate it. Not only that, it's really bad for you, but I hate being really hot, but I love the sun. I love the sun. Can you show us your current phone screensaver, and what's the most embarrassing you've ever had? Well, my current phone screensaver is this, which is, it's like the Galaxy. I don't know. I would like colours, and so it kind of just makes me happy when I see it. I don't have a boyfriend either, so I can't exactly have a photo. I did have Bob Dylan last week when I was writing as my screensaver because he's a babe and very inspiring. The most embarrassing I've ever had would probably, I don't know, I've had George Ezra a lot, and like I would have like motivational quotes like, oh, you only get what you work for, nothing more, nothing less. Or like, the world's your oyster. Move forward, young sea creature. Not really. Question 7. If you could, what would be the most outrageous pet you would have? The most outrageous pet I would love an elephant. Like, I would absolutely love an elephant. Actually, I'll show you a photo. I spent a week in Thailand, and I went to this like elephant conservation farm where it's like you ride them, like I'm riding that bareback. So because the like the cane baskets that they use to ride elephants are actually really bad for their back. I looked after these elephants, and you like washed them and did health checks, and they were all rescued from, obviously throughout Asia there's a lot of like circuses and stuff that have elephants and other animals in them, and all these elephants were rescued from like those kind of situations where they were being kept for like performance or, you know, taken advantage of kind of thing. So yeah, they get put on this conservation farm, and you look after them for a day, and like we went in the waterfalls and like swam with them, and it was amazing, like just cleaning them, and just like they have so much personality to them. It's like I love them quite a lot. Question 8. What makes you feel squishy and beautiful? Squishy and beautiful in a lovey way, I guess. Like if I'm hanging out with a guy and I really like him, the things that make me feel squishy, oh my god, I'm going all girly. The things that make me feel squishy and beautiful is probably when, say if I'm walking to a gig or something and he like carries my guitar, because like that is it is heavy and annoying. That kind of makes me feel squishy. Oh no, probably like the squishiest, yuckiest, beautifulest I can feel, that sounds really lame, is like when you wake up in the morning and like you're laying next to like your partner and they're just kind of like stroking your face. They're just like stroking your face, or like just kind of like looking at you, just like that moment where like you feel so ugly and disgusting and you probably smell really bad, but they're kind of like looking at you really nice. That's nice. So there you go, future boyfriend. Question 9. Your best camping experience and why? Best camping experience. When I went to... What is my best camping experience? At Glastonbury. when I played, and my friend George Ogilvy came with me, and we bought this tent, and it was like this pop-up tent, but it was like one of the ones that you just fling out and it like assembles itself, and George was so adamant that it would be fine, and he was like, no Demi, like it'll be fine. And I was like, I really don't think that it's sturdy enough. Like we're going to Glastonbury, it's gonna be like wet and muddy and raining. And not only that, but we had all our guitars and everything because we were playing in the pop-up hotel. So we had to like fit all this stuff in the tent, and it was like a less than 2-man tent, plus we had bags and 2 guitars, and it was so funny. And it wasn't like the best, like it was horrible and cold and the tent leaked, but it was just so funny. It was like this crap little tent, and like I just remember like we got there and I just looked at him when he put it, and I was like, there's no way that we're fitting in that. And he was just like, no, it'll be fine, in true like George style. Sure enough, it wasn't, and it leaked, and the people at the pop-up hotel were nice enough to give me and him a like a proper tent that they had that someone left early from. Question 10. We have seen you talk about significant numbers, for example 1111 and 6.666. What's going on with your fascination with numbers? Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but like I see 11s everywhere, like literally everywhere. It's crazy. When I was kind of tossing up moving to England at the end of 2013, I started seeing it everywhere, but it was like to the point where I'd show my mum, because I was like, no one's gonna believe me, like I am seeing this number everywhere. Anyway, I googled it, and it's like all about like times of change in your life and stuff, and I don't know how like super into it I am, but I know that when I started seeing those numbers, I made like a few really big changes in my life, and it was for the best, because I had the best year of my life last year. And yeah, it's pretty weird, but I totally believe that it's relevant in some way. I can't really explain why. I think 11's probably my number, but I found out the other day, get how weird this is. Ellen DeGeneres has started a record label, and guess what it's called? 11. I'm taking it as a sign. So Ellen, if you're looking for anyone to sign, I'm available, and your numbers match my numbers, so we could make some sweet music. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Question 11. You named one of your guitars Roper. What other non-living objects have you named? Yeah, this is Roper. That's Roper there actually. And my other guitar was named Bindi, and I also named my car's name Brucey after the shark. I named one of my old hats was named Gary, but I lost it. It was a green hat. I don't know. I name lots of things. I don't know why. It's kind of like a weird thing, really. My teddy bear's named Annabelle, but that's kind of normal. Like, people name teddy bears. Quick fire question. Best and worst thing about. Okay, so I have to say the best and worst thing about. Best thing, chocolate. Best thing, tastes incredible. Worst thing, makes you fat. Guitars. Best thing, sound amazing and you get really attached. Worst thing, they're very heavy and cumbersome, and when you walk around with it for a long time, it can get a bit annoying. Best thing about clothes shopping, obviously that you get a choice of clothes out of a shop, and it's fun just to try on new things. Worst thing, not the best when you're a broke musician as I am, because you walk in and you're just like, I really like that jacket. Can't afford it. Might as well just not even walk in the shop, which is now my method. I probably haven't been in a clothes shop for like at least 5 months or 6 months because I just get really sad. Okay, best thing about being a female musician. Best thing about being a musician in general is it's a lot of fun, and I'm pretty lucky. The worst thing about being a female musician, probably the worst thing about being female and solo, is just that you travel solo, which I mean is fine. I find it fine, but some people kind of like, you're more of a target. You're more of like an innocent target when you're walking around than you are, I guess, if you're like a solo guy. Best thing about long hair. People like it. People like long hair. Worst thing, takes about 4 hours to dry after I wash it, and it takes a long time to brush and do things with. Best thing about mobile phones is that you can contact everyone all the time. Worst thing is that you're contactable all the time. It's like, I don't want to talk to you right now, but you're calling me and you can see that I've seen it, and you can see that I've gone on Facebook and I haven't answered your call, but it's like, I just don't want to talk to you. Best thing about animals, I love them. I love my Nessie. The worst thing is that you have to leave them, and sometimes they don't live as long as you, which is really sad. Best thing about housework, Is that a trick question? Best thing about guinea pigs. Best thing about guinea pigs is that they're the cutest little things in the world. They're so small and so cute. But the worst thing is that they don't live very long. No, I feel like both my reasons about animals have been like, they die eventually, as do we. We also die eventually. Best thing about time travel, it's time travel. Best thing about time travel would be that you could go back to like a time. If I could go back, I would probably go back to my 14-year-old self that was begging for guitar lessons and just be like, just teach yourself now, as opposed to teaching myself when I was like 17. Be like, teach yourself now. And I'd probably be Taylor Swift by now. So there we go. I'm joking. Question 12. What's going on for Demi in the next few months? Well, I'm going to England in a few weeks to play at the pop-up hotel at Glastonbury again. And then I'm going to be hanging around there until about mid-August. Just writing and recording and doing some gigs and stuff around, and then I'm coming home. That's basically it at the moment. Question 13. Finally, the best advice you can give to any musician starting out. My best advice is just work really hard. Work really hard and do it every day. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. Like, you're kind of like I spend a lot of my Saturday nights, like I don't really go out that much. Like my Saturday nights or my time is just spent kind of like practicing or writing, and I think you need to write every day. Like if you are a songwriter, you need to write every day because you need to learn how to like encompass what you're feeling on like a daily basis. Like even if there's something not that exciting going on in your life that day, like you might just be going to work, it's like use that as a time to kind of like just think about what you're doing and think about little things. And I don't know, when you're a songwriter, it's like I listen to conversations and I even find like conversations kind of like inspiring. Like someone might say something and I'll be like, that's so good, write it down. Like, you know, it's kind of like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but yeah. So yeah, that's probably my best advice, is just do it every day and be really focused and research and just do it. I don't know, just do it. Watch the people that you like and watch what they're doing and kind of find out why they're doing it, and try and understand the industry as well. Like it's taken me, like I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea, and I still don't really have that much of an idea, but I've learned a lot, and I've learned how to kind of like function, I guess, in the music industry, because it's hard and there's a lot of people, and it's kind of like, it's all about learning. You should learn all the time, but it's all about learning. This says, thank you for joining us today. I hope we can have an iced coffee together next time you're in the UK. Table for two, finally. Yes, the table for two for this solo traveler. Yeah, so thank you so much, DWF Media, for having me. And you can follow me at Demi Louise Music, or you can follow DWF at DWF Media. And you can find out more about me at demilouise.com. So thank you. I'll talk to you soon.